The 6 zodiac signs most likely to be single. I'm Lamar Townsend. I'm a natural intuitive, clairvoyant, clairaudient, empathic, psychic tarot reader. And I would love to do a personal, private, confidential psychic tarot reading for you. Please contact me at lamartownsendtarot.com to purchase your own personal private reading or birth chart reading. Okay, if you have any questions, check out the FAQ section as well as the personal ethics section on lamartownsendtarot.com. Okay, I would also love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the notification button, which is basically the bell next to the subscribe button, so that you get a notification whenever I upload a new video. I would also love it if you would follow me on Instagram at Lamar Townsend and like me on Facebook, facebook.com/Lamar Townsend official. I'm a little bit sleepy, I'm not gonna lie. Um, and yes, thank you for listening and watching, okay? I'm drinking my coffee, alright? The 6 zodiac signs most likely to be single. Well, let me first preface this video by saying that there's nothing wrong with being single. Um, Being single does not mean that you have cooties. Being single does not mean, that there's something wrong with you. For a lot of people, it's their choice to be single. I'd say for the majority of people, it's their choice to be single, right? Whether consciously or unconsciously, Some people just enjoy their freedom, right? And I think that these 6 zodiac signs have that in common, liking their freedom, all right? So, here are the 6 zodiac signs, in my opinion, people, all right, that are most likely to be single: Aquarius, Capricorn, Aries, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Gemini, all right? Now, let's get into Aquarius, all right? Aquarius is ruled by Uranus and Saturn. Aquariuses tend to be loners. They tend to be social people. Aquarius is an air sign. Air signs tend to be social. They tend to be, mentally active, intelligent people who enjoy intelligent conversation, right? Aquariuses enjoy intelligent conversation, but because of that Saturn energy, Aquariuses also enjoy their alone time to recharge and to think about things and to, kind of get back in touch with themselves, They are unlike the other air signs, Gemini and Libra, in that way, because Gemini and Libra tend to like to be around people, like all at all times. But Aquariuses definitely need their own, like their alone time, their like me time, So they tend to value that time. Therefore, they tend to be single. Not everyone understands that, kind of personality trait of people who kind of need their alone time. Some people have like a codependent type of personality, and that's just not going to work with Aquarius, all right? So, in my opinion, that's why Aquarius is most likely to be single. But once again, that's not a bad thing. That just means Aquariuses are more picky and choosy of who they decide to partner with, right? Capricorn. Well, Capricorns have that Saturn energy I was talking about here with Aquarius. But, Capricorns are solely ruled by Saturn. So they are very, like, Saturn is all about work, the past, debt, karma, like, weight, illness, restriction, self-discipline, getting to work on time, doing the same thing over and over and over, developing a routine. Like, that's what Saturn's about. um, you know, ma- Making it to the top, fighting to the top. That's what Saturn's about. So that's what Capricorns tend to be focused on. Not really so much love, or like, not to say that Capricorns aren't romantic people or don't want love, because they do have that watery element to them. So they are emotional people who enjoy the comfort of another person, but once again, like Aquarius's, Capricorns need a particular type of person who understand that they need alone time. Capricorns are very ambitious people, so they tend to be people who um, are also very ambitious. Very hardworking, very focused, like laser sharp focus. So a lot of times they don't always have the capacity to devote their full attention at all times to their partner, which once again can be an issue for some people. You know what I'm saying? Capricorns, don't like people getting in the way of their goals. So, if you're going to get in the way of a Capricorn's goals, then a Capricorn would much rather stay single. I would know because I'm a Capricorn. Next, we have Aries. And Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is a very aggressive planet, a very kind of sexual planet too. So Aries tend to be very independent people. Aries don't really like to be tied down, and if they are tied down, Aries likes to choose that person. Like Aries tend to not like to be chosen unless that person themselves is very powerful in some way, right? Um, Aries is also a very dominant zodiac sign. I'm kind of like listening to that bird, like, what the heck? Aries is also a very dominant sign and likes to take charge, which can be an issue for some people because, relationships are so interesting and complicated because there's always a dynamic. There's always like the gender, the male, who's the female in the relationship, who's the this and then that. Like, Aries, even if an Aries is submissive, they can be dominant. You know what I'm saying? And that can still be an issue for some people because it's like, whoa, what's going on with the roles here? Like, I thought you're supposed to play this role, I'm playing this role. Like, Aries doesn't like that. Aries doesn't like to be tied down in that way. And Aries can be dominant one minute and, be submissive the next. So, people sometimes can't understand that rhythm of Aries, which is, makes Aries frustrated, and then it's just a whole big mess. So, Aries, because they know themselves, and they know themselves, would much rather stay single, because they know themselves, they can read people very easily. Um, and they tend to also know what they want, from the get go. They are the type of people that will stick out for what they know they want and what is around the corner, all right? Typically, what's around the corner. Scorpio is also ruled by Mars and Pluto. Scorpio is a very intuitive, deeply intuitive sign. Pluto gives Scorpio that kind of deep intuitiveness, which allows Scorpios to see into the depths of people. And sometimes seeing into the depths of people isn't always pretty. And I think Scorpio understands that more than anyone. Scorpios tend to not always trust people so easily. So people have to prove their trustworthiness to a Scorpio most of the time. And I have to be honest, most of the time people don't pass that test. Well, at least in terms of relationship, right? At least in terms of the Scorpio committing themselves to someone. It's a very strict test. It's a very fine line. A lot of the times you won't even know you're being put on the test. You won't even know, you won't even know. Like the Scorpio says, "Go." Okay, your test has started, and you don't even know that you're in the test. So you're just going about making all the mistakes. And Scorpio's like, all right, like next thing you know, test over, you failed. So whatever happens after that point, you know what I'm saying? Scorpio's most likely, in the end, going to stay single or going to move on to someone else because Scorpios also don't have time for BS, which a lot of these zodiac signs don't have time for, is BS. Scorpio is definitely one of them. Scorpios are also usually looking for a particular type of person, kind of like Aries. They kind of know what they want. They like power. They like powerful people. Doesn't necessarily have to mean in terms of like a tangible way, like a materialistic way, like maybe like an Aries, like likes power like in all forms, but Aries especially likes power in forms you can see. You know what I'm saying? Not so much with Scorpio. Scorpio also likes maybe like an intuitive kind of power, and like just power radiates from a person, or what I'm saying, like someone's powerful inside of themselves. Like that also kind of attracts a Scorpio. So not many people out there like that. So Scorpios tend to stay single, until they find those type of people, right? Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled by a Jupiter. So Sagittarius is a very out there kind of sign. Sagittarius is a very abstract, Jupiter's all about the abstract mind, taboo, religion, morality, things of that nature. So Sagittarius are always kind of out there doing, doing new things, finding new adventures. And a lot of times people just cannot keep up with the Sagittarius. And that, in itself, is one reason why Sagittarius tend to be single. Also, Sagittarius, much like, pretty much all these signs, don't like to be tied down. Um, and they like to be tied down by two types of people, I'll say. The first type of person is they like to be tied down with someone who resonates with their truth, whatever their truth is, who resonates with how they live their lives, who, you know what I'm saying? Or they like to be tied down with someone who maybe doesn't resonate with their life, or, all aspects of their life, but is willing to learn, is willing to be taught, and vice versa, like a kind of flexible, open type of person, right? Those types of people are really, really hard to come by, and on top of that, you have to still keep up with a Sagittarius, like, that's hard to come by. So Sagittarius tend to be single, and they enjoy their singledom, they enjoy their freedom. So, a lot of these signs don't mind being single, really, truly. Doesn't mean they still don't meet people and do their thing, right? Safely, of course. Gemini, last on our list, is actually Sagittarius's polar opposite zodiac sign. So each zodiac sign has a polar opposite of a polar opposite element. So it's fire, air, earth, water. Okay. And Gemini and Sagittarius are both polar opposite zodiac signs. So, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Geminis are very communicative. Mercury is all about communication, the mind, intellect. So Geminis don't like to be tied down. Because they can be very complex and complicated. And they themselves know it. They tend to want one thing. They say they want to be tied down, but they really want to do this. And like Geminis never really know what they want. Geminis, and they hate being tied down for that fact. They never really know what they truly, truly want. And I think the thing with Geminis is that they don't know what they want until they find it. And, sometimes Geminis, I think, get caught up in being tied down because they think they found something, but they really haven't. You know what I'm saying? Um, Geminis can be kind of either or. Either they're like constantly in relationships or they're just single. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's either black or white with Gemini. There may be a gray area, but Gemini doesn't stay in that gray area for too long. Like Gemini jumps kind of in all three simultaneously. You know what I'm saying? Like Geminis are just very, very kind of flighty, and fluid, and that's just how they operate. And maybe if they can find someone who understands that and can maybe be that with them in a very healthy, kind of grounded way, Gemini might commit to that person. You know what I'm saying? If that person can also teach Gemini and show them new things and allow Gemini to teach that person new things and vice versa. Like, then I think Gemini might commit to that person. But for the most part, I think Geminis actually don't mind being single. Um, but once again, Gemini's, want one thing, they really want another. It's just, that twin element is just always in play with a Gemini, and sometimes Geminis struggle keeping up with their own selves. Nothing wrong with that, though. The thing with Gemini, though, is that they tend to have a lot of people who want to commit to them, but Gemini is like, oh, but I like this person, that person, this one, that one, like, you know what I'm saying? So Geminis are just, a bundle of joy, and that's why we love them, right? Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification button so that you get a notification whenever I upload a new video. Contact me at lamartownsendtarot.com for your own personal tarot reading or birth chart reading, okay? hit the notification button, the bell, right next to the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video, and I'll hear from you soon, okay? Thank you.